Okay, this is Max Doumitt. I'm doing my video for the final exam coding problem set for CPSC 2100. So starting with problem 1, it was given to us to take an input of two strings and interlace them. And so I just basically initialized a laced string variable. These two variables are just the lengths of the two strings that are going to be in the parameters. And then end is just whichever one's longer, it's going to get that that value to be used in this for loop. So for in range from 0 to the end of the longer value, we're going to get the the letter in the I position from the string 1, and then put it in laced string, or append it, and then do the same thing with string 2. And the if statement is basically there so that if one is much shorter than the other, we will just keep appending from the other, and there will not be any error thrown or anything like that. So by the end of it, you'll get these outputs, which are done properly. I'll just run it again, and you can see it gives the right outputs. So moving on to problem 2, we have prime numbers. So we are given some number n, and we want to find all the prime numbers between I think it was 2 and n inclusive. Hold on, let me look at it real quick, make sure that's correct. Problem 2. Okay, between 2 and n inclusive. Okay, so basically what I have here, I'm initializing a list L. We have a for loop where it's going to go from 3 to n plus 1. It basically just helps with the inclusivity. J is going to be set equal to 2, and we also have this is prime variable set to true. So that's going to be our true boolean that's going to be able to flip to false if it's not prime. So now we've got a while loop. So while j is less than or equal to I, if the remainder from the division between I and j is equal to 0, then we're going to say that it's not prime. That is to say, if we divide our current number by anything less than it, and it gives you 0 as a remainder, so it divides unevenly, that'll mean it's not prime. So we're going to say not prime and break, and then we'll add 1 to j and keep going. And otherwise, if it is prime and j is equal to I, so basically just to say that we've gotten to the end of the j's for that particular I, then we'll append it to the list, and then that list will be returned so that we can put in some parameter for n and get all the prime numbers between 2 and that number n inclusive. So I'll run that again just to make sure, and as you can see, we got that list. So moving on to problem 3 now. Problem 3 is the dictionary problem. We have a dictionary with keys, and each key has a value. Some of the values are duplicates, so we're tasked with trying to remove all of the duplicates. So we want a list of the keys that have unique values, meaning, so like in this dictionary, there is 1 only appears once, 2 only appears once, 4 only appears once. So we want the keys for those. So the key will be 1, 3, and 8. And of course, you can see that 6 goes to 0, also 7 goes to 0, also 10 goes to 0. So those ones you don't want in the actual uniques list. So basically, what I did was I started by initializing a few different lists, one for values, one for duplicates, and uniques. So I first used this to get all the values from the dictionary into a list, and then we have a for loop here. It's going to go from 0 to the length, or however long however many values there are from the dictionary. And then if, let's see, let me read this again real quick. Dictionary values I in values, duplicates.append. Okay, so we're basically saying if the number that we're looking at, or the value that we're looking at, is already in the values, then we're going to append it to the duplicates, basically to say, look, we've had another one of these, so this is now going to be one of the duplicate values. If it's not in there already, then we'll just append that to the actual values list. So we're going to end up with a list of values, and we're just going to end up with another list with all the values in it, and then a list with only the ones that are duplicates. So in this case, just a couple zeros is going to be in duplicates. So moving on from there, we have a for loop using j. I can remove this space from 0 to the length of the values list. If this value is not in duplicates, meaning that it is unique, we're going to append it to the uniques. So it's basically going to, oh wait, this is, sorry, I got a little ahead of myself. This is just going to do what I just said. Unique keys part is actually going to use this list comprehension to get any value that is unique. Oh wait, sorry, I got behind myself now. let me start back from here. I got a little confused. So if it's not in duplicates, meaning that it's unique, it's going to append it to the unique list. So now we're going to end up with this list right here that is going to be all of the values that are unique. So it's going to have 1, 2, and 8. Oh, sorry, 1, 2, and 4. So now what we want to do is find the dictionary's keys that correspond to these values. So that's what this list comprehension does. It's going to go through K for K and V, and it's basically just going to, if this value that we're looking at from the uniques is the value from the actual original dictionary, then we'll get the key that corresponds to that value and then put it in this unique keys list. And then by the end of it, it's going to go through, it's going to find the 3 keys that correspond to those 3 values and make this unique keys list, which will have the keys in it. And if we run this, you can see we're going to end up with 1, 3, and 8, which are the keys for those uniques. Alright, got a little confused there. Moving on to 4. This is where we get into some OOP stuff. At least I think it's OOP. It's OOP, right? It's got classes and such. So for this one, there was kind of like a lot going on, but in this problem you will implement a class according to the specifications of the template. And then we got this big old template here. Basically all we really had to fill in was this and this right here. Wait, I don't remember. I think it was just this much. I don't remember if I had to put that there or not. I think I did actually. So basically all I had to do was write that stuff, and it'll tell you right here that from person has additional attribute, status a string, blah blah blah, raises a value error if status is not one of those 3 strings. So we are giving it these 3 strings, and if it is one of them, it's going to set self status to status, and otherwise it's going to raise this error. So and then obviously just return self status here, and as you can see, if you run this, it is going to give you citizen there, but non-resident is in fact not in this list. So we will return this, or not return, but we will throw this value error that we put there, and that's how it goes. That one was pretty simple, wasn't much to write there. And so now we move on to the last one. I'm going to take a drink of water and scroll down to the actual question on my other monitor. Actually, this is weird. One moment. Usually there's like a I think it's recording. It should be. Bum bum bum. My browser's loading. Why is it taking so long to load? Okay, well, I'm just gonna do it without it, I guess. So this one had another bunch of stuff that we just kind of copy pasted from the other page, which is now loaded, so I can scroll. Okay, so we wrote only a few things on here as well, so that would be in the actual remove right here. You wrote all this, so it's just if self is an E, then delete it, delete this, and then also we wrote code in this one, return just self vals dot get E comma false and true, which is like kind of a jumble of things when I look at it, but it returns true if E has been inserted in self and not subsequently removed, and false otherwise. I mean, it looks weird, but it does the thing. So it does the thing. This is copied in, and also this is copied in, and it tells us that we should get these back. And you can see we have the same true, true, false, and right here 4-2. So kind of a weird one, but there it is. I do believe that is the thing complete. It was only 5 problems, right? Yeah. Okay. I got a little spooked there. All right. That should be it. Thanks.